It kind of is. That's cool, though. I hope everyone's cool with that, right? But it's not going to be like that forever, right? Many of us might not give a shit. I mean, I don't want to say might not give a shit. I mean, this is a longer term thesis that I have, but who knows? I mean, but as time passes, you can't. And remember, just a heads up to everybody, you can't. You're always going to be paying attention. Don't be so focused just on one stock. I mean, I tend to only focus very heavily on one particular stock, but I always keep an eye on everything else that's moving too. Otherwise, you might miss something, and there might be other opportunities that pass you by. It just so happens that GameStop's a major position for me and many other folks, and I think that it's a very prominent stock, so most of us just want to talk about it. But there's other stock research is more than just one pick, right? Oh, shit. Oh, Trey, thank you, Trey. I am just shocked at how much volume every day. Me too, Justin. What there you go. Justin, I certainly can't explain with certainty. Justin's saying, what's up with all the damn volume? Yeah, what's up with that? Look at this. This is crazy volume. High frequency trading, market makers just going back and forth. Yeah, someone mentioned the spreads are widening. It's interesting. I see wide spreads with some of the smaller cap companies. But with GameStop, I don't really know. I don't think about that stuff too much. But again, that could be one of those examples of things that I don't historically pay too much attention to, but maybe I should be. But yeah, we'll see. GME starting its own solar business. That was the other one, Makeshift. That's right. Oh, okay. Jamie's from Stock Twits. All right. They said this is the GME discussion. Yeah, we got to check. Yeah, we got a lot of folks talking about it. Jamie, welcome. Myth. Oh, Myth. That's a good story. Arrested in Paris for throwing a mannequin out of a hotel window and a police dog went after it. That was crazy. Oh, shit. That's a hell of a story, Myth, huh? Can't make that up. You can't make up a story like that, right? Definitely high frequency trading, Philly says, right. And how much of it is like it's just the same, some of the same shares going back and forth. What the hell were those 75 million volume days? Jordan wants buybacks. Yep. I'm saying they did them. Jordan, how confident are you that they did the buybacks? I know you've been saying you think that they did. Angry beep boops. Huge volume. If they did buy some of the volume, we know it's the 13G. But again, look at this. It's not that much volume. It was 13 million. 3.6 million, right? It's like not that much. So like, what's funny, like we're talking, right? We don't know. We know we don't know, right? Which is good. We know we don't know how to explain this. But if those shorts are watching, they're probably watching this discussion and be like, these idiots. You know what I mean? Like people who understand how the market works and they know these types of details. They're like, look at these folks. They don't even know what the hell is going on here. They don't even know what this volume is, right? Like people know. We just don't know. We don't know. I always talk about in my other videos, the plight of the individual investor, or small or non-large, non-major institutional videos, I should say. It's like you're just not dialed into this type of stuff, and it just makes, you know what I mean. So it's who's watching in, right? If they are watching, they're probably having a laugh, not so much at our expense, but just at our general ignorance. I don't obviously don't mean that as a negative thing. It is what it is. Right. So I agree. Tay says if they did buy back, I think it would have been right after earnings. I tend to agree, but I still, if they did, there was quite a bit of volume following earnings. And then it dropped so much. It dropped so much at the end, early October. Just crazy, crazy low. That's what surprised me. So low was that volume. So if they did, Tay, I'd agree with you that I bet it was right around there. Just like last year, they went ham right after they announced earnings. Yeah, Justin says no way on buybacks. It seems like a lot of folks are kind of, they don't think that they did the buybacks. But that's why it would catch everyone by surprise, right? And I keep on saying how last year I didn't think they did the buybacks. I was kind of like, they're not gonna. I've already said this many, many times. But following this earnings back in September, what the hell is it? Oh, they announced here, but then they were buying back this whole time, and I thought the same. I didn't think they were going to buy. And I'm kind of like the same thing again. And I was like very much surprised in December. So it could happen again. If it weren't for all those buybacks, if it weren't for all these buybacks right here, September 1st to October 5th right now, I would be even more negative. It's because they did this, and I didn't think that they would, that I have to leave open the possibility that they did. So much in September, they were like, we are doing this. And I made that tweet, but I forget now. It's a couple weeks old, but I made that tweet about... Check this out. I quoted this in Twitter a couple weeks ago. It's worth repeating because it's the question was, I guess the first one focused on the buyback. Why buy back so much stock? Blah 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 blah. Like, good question, right? Why are you buying so much stock? There was way more uncertainty last year. Way more uncertainty. And Jim Bell's the new CFO as of June. Just read this. What the actual quote that I included in the tweet was, we believe our stock is undervalued and we think it's an appropriate and prudent use of capital that return capital to our shareholders via the buyback. And I'm just going to reemphasize that last point. We buy back stock because we fundamentally believe that our stock is trading at a discount and we are very confident as to where our stock, very confident, right? I was so surprised by that because as I'm sure Justin would attest to this and any other series long, like all of their other sentiment leading up to this, even since this stands out to me. And I was being like, what the hell? You're very confident of where your stock price is going to be. I was taken aback. And to come out, just be like, we are very confident where it's going. We know where it's going to be headed in 11 months. Are we 11 months? This was December, so November he meant. So we're very, very confident that bounce back. You know what I mean? This language, it doesn't jive with everything else. And so it continues to weigh on me. And yet, because now so much time has passed, I've seen presentations, I've seen transcripts, I've seen press releases, and I'm leaning back toward the, I don't know. But because they did this, I have to concede that there's a good possibility. Plus, now they have a little bit. There's less uncertainty right now. I think but maybe they need more cash to reinvent themselves and so forth. You know what I mean? It's, again, still not my base case, but we're very confident that all the work that's being done right now to run expense. You know what I mean? Like, this is last year, December. That's what's crazy. I give them props. For that shit. You know what I mean? That's why I included Jim Bell and do I have my I wanted to include Jim Bell. I mean, I run out of people to go, I got it right here. Do I have media? Where's media? That kind of get me right to it, won't it? Oh, shit. Did I miss it? Oh, right there. Steve Mazzini. Woo, woo. That's Jim Bell right there. For those who don't know, that's Jim Bell. He's guarding the buybacks right there, right? Oh, shit. So that's why I keep that shit. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, did I just talk too much? Oh, no. Oh, shit. Okay. The shorts timeline on GameStop is now to April. What are they going to? Because they're going to bet on a weak, an underperforming Q4. You know what I mean? Really going for it. Yeah. Polygon says, we got 85 good brains here. I'm sure we can at least match one of the worst headshots. Yeah. Early October felt like July. I'm sure Tay's talking about the volume. I agree. Like, it did. It was, and that was eerie on the heels of all that volume back in the day. Like, we hadn't seen it, I think, since August, right? Right before 2.8, since right before Cohen filed. It was eerily quiet, but this was more noteworthy because of how much volume we saw in September. I was like, what the hell? I thought we were at a new normal. 5, 6, 8 million, that you can expect that. And when it went back down, I'm like, whoa, heads up, beware. Shorts in particular. Oh, once we hit April, then another proxy vote. Yep. So that's another. We talk about near term why they might have to call in shares for votes and stuff, like a buyback, a buyout or anything like that. But otherwise, April for another potential proxy vote, or they will be proxy votes. Talking buybacks. I think they did them. Expect props if they did. Remember, I was wrong with Q2. Earnings. Yeah. I give a more than 2 sigma chance they didn't. Oh, okay. And we're talking meaningful buybacks, right? We're talking real buybacks. I don't mean like 1 or 2 million like they did a couple quarters. Ryan Cohen lending out shares to tank price or two. I know that if these longs are lending out their shares, who knows? If they call them back, who knows? I don't know how this works. I don't know how that works, that aspect. How likely any of that stuff is. Could explain increase in shares short, yeah. Yeah, to incremental rope for the noose. Again, I don't know how that works. Could it be? I have no idea. Yeah, but don't they know that? I mean, you would think sophisticated shorts understand that that's a potential risk that they need to account for. You know what I mean? Like, it's so obvious that I think that they'd have to somehow account for that potential risk. They'd have to. That's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't default to like stupidity on the other side of the trade. On the contrary, I default to sophistication. That's why I keep on saying I feel like there's something I'm not understanding. But indeed, it's worth mentioning. Is it incremental rope? I just can't. If it happens, then educational for me, right? I'll look back on this and be like, damn, yep, that was educational for me. I just don't know enough about it to speak confidently about it at all. Yeah, I may have lent it. Yep. There's so much share short that I think a lot of the longs probably are lending, right? Yeah, they saw the buybacks were cheap at 5 last year. They could buy them this year, a month away from consoles for 6. Jordan, great point. That price was at 6 for a very brief time. Can you imagine? That's the thing. I think they would have needed to have a trading program in place to buy so short, to buy the next day after earnings. That's the thing. It was only it, so there was. When did they announce? Oh, they announced when they announced the 9th. So boom, boom. Sometimes it's 2 days, in which case maybe they were the boom, boom. What was the volume? What was the volume on 14th, 15th? And that's a big buy. Like, that's a big jump. It could have been 1 week, 14th, 15th, 16th. I looked into this already. I just forget. 14, 15, 16, 19. So, and the close was at, it went up quite a bit. But indeed, they thought they were very confident. To Jordan's point back then, it's conceivable. You know what I mean? Like, it's conceivable that they did that. I'm with you, Jordan. I just, with all that's unfolded this year, it kind of, I lean toward no, but it ain't zero for me. Make no mistake. I hope I just made that clear. Then COVID happened. Yep. They would have done buybacks this quarter, in my opinion, the initial game plan. Well, then don't forget the bond exchange too. Oh, this quarter, do you mean right now? Right now, Uber? Like last quarter would have been great after they closed out the bond exchange. They needed, I bet, share buybacks that were interfering with bond exchanges. It had to. But once they rounded it out in early July, I'm like, all right, let's do it. But then there was never that much volume, and there was nothing. Well, under 2, I remember these days. It was dipping below 4. It was nuts. 93. Are we getting to 100? Are we doing this? Let's do it. Oh, I was caught up, though. Cheers, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We do other stocks besides GameStop. Believe us. Really wants dividend. Well, dividend, I don't think it's likely. Of course, I've said that. But if they did announce a dividend, that would cause people to want the shares. You know what I mean? That's really the only reason it comes up. But unlikely. They would just do a special dividend, right? Exactly what Justin's saying, so I already said it. Pull out an overstock, right? We talked about that. Too many growth opportunities plus Ryan Cohen. Exactly. So who's saying that, Robert? Yeah, Robert. Yep. I'd rather cash not be dividend. Yeah. He can call them back anytime he wants, right? I know. Yeah. Okay, keep going. No, I haven't followed Polygons, but not talking about the Starship project now. Remember tennis rackets forthcoming. Jordan's holding out for the tennis rackets. He wants all those tennis rackets. They did it that fast last year. Why not again? Indeed, Jordan. Indeed. Well, there's reasons I listed why not again, but why I think not. Maybe not again. Did I? I forget. Buybacks would have been the best. Just not confident at all they did it. Yeah, I agree. So Justin says, I agree. Buybacks would have been the best, just not confident at all they did it. And okay, well, let's do it. Here we go. Did GameStop, did they exhaust their buyback authorization following Q2 earnings this year? Is this 8-ball stacked? Can you see that one? You can never see it. I'm doing my best, but anyways, it says yes. That's all it says is yes. Oh, there we go. Well, that's settled. We don't even have to discuss it anymore. It's done. It's done. That is what it is. I feel like this thing's stacked. I feel like every time we ask it, it's yes.